Hey everybody, welcome back. This is, I don't know, I guess step 3. You get messed up. I'm so excited. I couldn't wait. Got my hat on, ready to rock and roll here, of becoming an AI consultant. So when you last left, if you haven't caught up on the other videos, basically I created a prompt. I gave it to multiple, I think they're called LLMs. I don't know, ChatGPT and the other ones like that, just to see what it would spit out. So I'm going to share my desktop with you and show you. I've created a little bit of a summary that I could also share with you, and we'll take it from there. So basically, I guess step 3 is reviewing the results of what they shared with us. So right here, my screen, we're going to start with ChatGPT. We're just going to go across, and I graded all of them, just so that you're aware. Let me get this camera a little bit better. Oh, go the wrong way. All right. So I graded them all. So ChatGPT, as you can see here, is the flashiest, I guess. First of all, they started with clarifying questions, and that's why I didn't bore you with answering them. But for me, they asked me about the technical background. I have some coding experience, what tools I'm familiar with, what learning style, timeline, and then the business model. So that was great. And so they used that information to generate their response, which I appreciate. But you'll see here, there's a lot more color. They broke it down into 5 different phases here. But ultimately, the phases are very concise, I'll say. They have the goal, the topics that we'll cover, and then learning resources. And that's it, right? So 5 different phases, which is great. Building the business model and a consultant strategy, and then next steps. Now, it did ask me would I like help setting up the more detailed list of courses and certifications, which was great. Overall, I gave this a C when I looked at all of the other options. So let's continue on. But this is kind of what I got from ChatGPT. I also copied and pasted this. So you have a copy option here with all of this. And some of them I was able to use that, and some of them I had to highlight and copy, save them all in their individual Word documents, which I'm happy to share with anybody if you want. But for future use, I do have this all copied. Then we go to Gemini, which was the next one. Now you can see here they initially generated me, they asked me questions and generated me a response. As you can see, and then I answered. It was just one was technical background and things like that. There's some more there, but very similar type questions. Then they regenerated my response. So I like that. It only broke it down into 3 phases: foundational knowledge, and then the second one was specialized skills and practical application. And then the third phase is building your consulting business and achieving financial freedom. If you remember, that's what I asked for. Like, how do I do all that? Which was cool. And then at the end, well, you can see all of it's like, it's broken down. It's not, again, very in-depth. Just kind of highlighting these are the things that you're going to do. And then at the end of it all, I hope you find this guide helpful. Let me know if you have any further questions. So I don't know. Again, you have the option to share or export. The one cool thing about Gemini, I thought you can export it into Google Docs immediately, which is nice. So I was able to do that. And Gemini, I gave a D. I thought this was worse than ChatGPT, which was, average. So this one was below average. I'm going to jump over Claude for a minute and just go to LeChat. So LeChat didn't ask me anything, and it just generated me a response, basically, defining everything that I asked for. So AI readiness, they defined it for me. Okay, great. Here are the tools. Use an assessment frameworks and maturity models to gauge AI readiness. Not helpful. Learning resources, and this is what it did for all of those, the things that I wanted to learn, the skills I wanted to create. It defined it for me, and then just gave me a little bit more information. And then it says, by following this comprehensive guide, you'll be well equipped to become an AI consultant. So I really wanted to jump here quick because this is an F. I will not be using LeChat for anything. It might have been faster. I didn't sign in or anything, and maybe that's the problem. I don't know. But whatever. This is what I got, and I gave it an F, and we're not going to be using this. Again, I still copied and saved all these. Anybody who wants them, you can see them. And then here's Copilot. So again, very in similar fashion, I put my thing in. They asked a lot of questions, 5 different types of questions, which I went and answered. Then they generated me the response. So that's cool. And you can see here, I obviously highlighted it to copy it into a Word document. And so they broke it down for me. Very specific. They did, make the response specific to the questions that they asked and my responses. They broke it down into core skills, free low-cost learning resources. One of the best things I liked about Copilot here was they have links right here. So one of the things they want you to learn is customer service in the age of generative AI, and it's a Coursera, free with financial aid. So it gave a lot of, at least some of these with links, which I really like. And when you copy and paste it, it gives you the actual URLs. But it broke it down into that, free cost, free low cost, hands-on projects, and then what you're going to do for financial freedom strategies and building this all out for me to market it. And then it gave a suggested time frame, which was really nice. So 6 months ultimately to do all of this, which I appreciated. And then, let me know if you'd like to expand on any section to get started. So all in all, Copilot was my B, right? So we got C, D, F, and Copilot was a B. Not bad, but not the ultimate winner. So here's where we go to our ultimate winner, and it was Claude. If you can't tell, I skipped it. Kind of knew it was coming. I gave this an A. So Claude, very similar. I gave it the prompt, asked me a couple of questions, 4 different questions. But it gave me, look at a link to open a document for the comprehensive guide of becoming an AI consultant for customer service, which you could see is all the way over here on the right, already open for me right there. And we'll get into that in a second. And it gave me a little summary on what it's going to do for me. But then I answered the questions. It regenerated this whole guide for me, doing that. Now, on the left side, this is just me playing with these things. So I don't know how much you've played with them, but you can see here, it gave them more targeted plan, first 2 to 4 weeks, what's going to happen, zero cost learning, quick portfolio building, marketing your services. So this is a summary of what it gave me. And then at the end, it asked me, would you like me to create more detailed week by week free learning plan that builds towards your first paying client? Yes, that's what I want, right? I mean, great question there. Here is the guide that they put together for me. Again, it broke it down into, it has a table of contents that you can link to. You could immediately download all of this, make it very easy to look at, and it's breaking it down in very digestible pieces. And then again, it asked me, would you like me to create a step-by-step guide? So you could see all of this. Again, I mean, I know I'm going fast here, but I have this in a Word doc if you want it. Or I guess I should put it in Google Docs and hit share or something like that. We'll figure that out if people are watching this. And this is for anybody that they want to use. And as I go through all of this, one of the things I want to call out is it's not really specific. Not a lot of it is specific customer service or contact center. You can use this for anything. I'm sure there will be some as we build it out, which will be great. But look at how long and how, in depth this material is. And then at the end, let me add this, recommended learning resources. We're going to have to take this one, Introduction to AI for Business. So we're going to see all this. But look at all this. So courses, some books that you could do, some communities that you can join, some certifications that you can get a part of, which is fantastic. And here, download button. Download the button right there. So, boom, we're going with Claude. Claude's the winner. And so that was step 3. So the next step will be now generating the next prompt to really do all of this. Break down a detailed week by week free learning plan is going to be the next thing. So I'll end this video for now, but this is where we are in step 3. Now I'm going to build out a little bit of a prompt and throw it in Claude and start building it out. So check out the next video if you want to see the next step. All right.